everyone, welcome to a Stamping to Share video. My name is Kalthoff and today I'm going to be sharing a really nice and easy card for you to make. It's this one right here, and it uses a stamp set called In the Meadow, and on the inside we have a little bit of stamping as well. And I really like this card. It actually kind of borders on masculine, so I'm going to show you how to create this today. And if you're wondering where you can purchase the In the Meadow stamp set, I have it in my online store, and you can find links to that at www.stampingtoshare.com. And it's in our Occasions 2016 catalog. So we don't know if it's going to be continued into the annual catalog or not, but we can get it for sure through the spring, which is, I think that catalog ends May 31st. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to need is some soft sky paper. I have that cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4. And all I'm going to do is fold that, and then I'll take my bone folder, make a nice press here so that it will lie flat for us. And then we are going to do a little stamping. So let me grab a piece of scrap paper here. And I think we'll do our stamping on the inside panel first. So the inside panel is going to have our sentiments stamped, and actually these are two different sentiments that I've gone ahead and I've put them both together on one block so that when I stamp, both of them are stamped at the same time. So I'll just set that right here. I like to go about 1/3 of the way down. And then the next thing that we're going to do on the inside panel is just stamp some of these little flowers down here in the bottom left corner. And I'm using, in case you're wondering, the ink that I'm using is Early Espresso. Now we're going to focus on creating the outside panel here, and again I'm going to leave my scrap paper in place, and I'm going to stamp the mountain scene. So I know that the bottom portion is going to have a 2 1/4 by 4-inch panel of crumb cake. So I'm just going to lightly put this down here just so I have a little bit of guideline for where my mountains are going to go. So again, I'm inking up the mountains in Early Espresso, and I'm just going to start here and stamp it to the left, and then I'm going to ink it up again and stamp it towards the right. And I love how the mountains kind of layer. I love that the stamp set is set up so that you can go ahead and, like on a scrapbook page or something, you can just keep going across, and this part of the mountain will nestle into this part of the mountain, which is really a clever way of doing it. So I appreciate that Stampin' Up! Makes our stamp so versatile like that. And then this part, this crumb cake panel, is going to get run through the Big Shot machine with the zigzag embossing folder. Now I've gone ahead and done this, so here's the zigzag embossing folder, and I did emboss this prior to the video just to save a little bit of time. I love my Big Shot machine. And now I'm just going to take some multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll just run a little line all the way around. Then we'll set this right here onto the front panel of our card, kind of wiggle that into place so that the right, left, and bottom portions are pretty much even borders. And then we'll set this aside and we'll focus on another panel, which is, again, soft sky. This is 2 by 4 inches, and I'm going to be stamping the tree in this panel. So I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp it right here. So I'm giving it enough breathing room here at the top, and I'm holding my stamp just a little bit longer so that the ink has time to transfer onto this panel. And now I'm going to again bring my scrap paper back in, and we're going to use this grass that is in the stamp set as well, and we're just going to fill this grass line in from left to right, so it's one continuous line on this panel, and I love the way that looks. So then we can go ahead and we're going to layer this on top of an Early Espresso panel. This is 1/8 inch larger than our soft sky panel, so it's 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to use glue again, so I've got the multi-purpose liquid glue here, and we're just going to do a little line all the way around and add this onto our panel of Early Espresso. With the glue, of course, I have a little bit of wiggle time so I can make sure all of my borders are really even. And it helps if it's on a contrasting color so I can see what I'm doing. All right, and now we're going to do a wrap. This wrap is created with some linen thread that Stampin' Up! Also sells, and I'm just going to, you know, have a little bit of a tail right here, and then I can wrap it around. And you can want to do this as many times as feels right to you. So I'll go 4 or 5 times around, and then I will just cut that off, and then we'll make a knot. All right, with our knot in place, we can just trim off this excess. And then what I like to do is just kind of spread that out so that it takes up a little bit more of the bottom portion of this panel. Just kind of use your fingers to spread out some of those strands. It just gives that a little bit more interest in the bottom portion of our panel so that it looks like this. And then we'll add some dimensionals to this. And as you can see, I've gone ahead, I've added 5 dimensionals, I've removed the peelies, and then we can go ahead and set this right on our card. So we're just centering it in from top to bottom and side to side. And our card is almost complete. Now we're going to add just a little bit of accent up here. So I have my Neutrals Candy Dots, and I'm going to take my paper piercing tool, and I've got a couple ready to go here. Now you could use Sahara Sand, or you could use Soft Suede or Early Espresso. I think I'm taking Crumb Cake, which looks nice with this paper down here. But there's a lot of variety here, and a lot of these colors would look good. You could even go into the subtles colors and use some subtles up there. So here we go. Here's the card I've just done, and here's the card I did in advance. If you need a demonstrator, be sure to stop by my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.